What up guys, welcome to my channel From Shit to Fit. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day, and today I decided to talk to you about compound movements and isolation movements overall, so you my friend know what's best for you. Now let's get on to the video. So about 2 weeks ago I released two videos of me working out, and I talked a little bit about isolation movements and basic movements. And basic movements are the equivalent of compound movements. And today I'm gonna talk a little bit why isolation movement and compound movements are important and why you need to include them to your workout. Exercise can be categorized into two different types. The first one being isolation movement, which is a single joint movement, and the second one being compound movement, being a multi-joint movement. Compound exercises are exercises that you're working multiple muscle groups. Good example being the bench press. When you're benching, the main muscle group that you're working is your chest area, but your shoulders and triceps are also heavily involved while doing this exercise. Isolation movements are single joint movements in which you're only trying to use one muscle group. These exercises are used to isolate the muscle to have a minimum involvement of your other muscle group. Now, why is isolation and compound movements that important? Now, let's start with isolation movements. Isolation exercise helps you to develop a better mind-muscle connection. And the more efficiently you can call upon a muscle, the more you will be able to fire up some muscle fibers and develop the muscle. Another advantage with isolating certain muscle groups is that you can train your muscles through its full range of motion to its maximum degree. Meaning that if you want to develop your bicep, you will need to do some dumbbell curls. But dumbbell curls are an isolation movement, which means that they are not compound movements that primarily focus on your bicep. So you would need to do some isolation movements. Now, why is compound movements that important? First and foremost, compound movements produce a greater amount of growth hormone and testosterone level than isolation movements. For you guys that don't know, growth hormone and testosterone level are potent muscle building hormones. In other words, very importante, okay guys? The second thing being that compound exercise tend to require a larger amount of stabilization to the entire body, thereby involving numerous muscle groups that otherwise wouldn't be stimulated with isolation movements. And last but not least, as I previously mentioned, isolation are a definite benefit, but do not consider them primary, consider them secondary movements. An efficient way of training to building more mass is to actually have more compound movements. This is considered and actually proven to build more muscle mass. The reason being is because while you're doing compound movements, your body needs more overall muscle fiber, and this actually helps you to build more muscle, allowing you to lift more weight. Now you might be wondering, how should I combine both compound movements and isolation movements? And I'm gonna put up this video now in front of me of me doing leg day on my push-pull leg day. And obviously I'm starting with my compound movement. And a training session always starts with a compound exercise performed first, followed by the isolation exercise. Compound exercises are more physically demanding, and performing them first means that you will have the energy to perform this exercise with a maximum intensity, resulting in a greater release of anabolic hormone and greater overall workout intensity. And as you see, I start with squats and deadlift, and then I do some lunges, which are compound exercises. And then I go ahead and do some isolation movements, which you see right now, that are not that physically demanding. Okay guys, before you go, the only thing that you need to remember, and the most important thing that you my friend need to remember, is that for a maximum overall muscle development, you need both isolation and compound movement to your workout. You need to add this to your workout for maximum muscle development. Thank you guys for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys soon. I used to isolate the muscle to have an involvement with minimum fucking piece of shit, I can't remember the line, supporting the muscle. And last but not least,